What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's good? What's up, people? It's me. I'm L3027. You know who I am?
Thundercats are on the move. Thundercats are loose, honey.
He's about the business of dipping spoons into sugar bowls. Anyway, real girls do real things. So as to make it easier for insertion, maybe?
No means no, and yes means no.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's good, people? What's up, what's up, what's up? What is up? It is me, L3027, and I am back here for yet another review. This will be our review, ladies and gentlemen, for P-Valley. It is season 2. It is episode 7. It is entitled Jackson. We're back down in the valley where apparently girls get naked. Apparently. Oh yeah. People keep reminding me, like, share, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. You know, hit the notification bell. Let the people know that you was here. Let your boy know. Leave a comment. Let me know you was here. Share the video out. Like, you know, subscribe, notification bell, all that good stuff. We here. We here. Let's do this. So, we start off in an awesome way. Listen, we start off with Loretta Devine, Ernestine, Miss Ernestine. She is at the Pink, and she's singing, and it looks to be the 1960s. She is dolled up, and Mama is singing "Until You Come Back to Me." I'm gonna rap on your door, tap on your window pane. Josh, gave like Mama was singing down. They had her dolled up in pink, but she had her 60s beehive look going. Then I think she had like the little, feather boa or whatever. Then they fast forward to the 70s and she had a sickening wig, flowing wig. It was 70s. So there was this montage where she's singing this song, "Till You Come Back to Me." That's what I'm going to do. And then it fast forwards to the 80s and she got this short fro or whatnot. I think it was supposed to be a Jerry girl, but I don't remember, child. But then we see Beulah, who's her daughter, and that's Uncle Clifford's mom. And we see a young Uncle Clifford, who's a little boy, and he has this purse already. Little boy got this purse hanging on to his purse, and then we fast forward and you see present day Miss Ernestine at the mic, still at the Pink. Now, all of this is a vision. All of this is, I believe, her either daydreaming or dreaming. But she then sees her daughter, and her daughter says, "It's time. It's time. It's time for you to come and rest." And she said, "No, no, baby, not now, not now." And at that point, she comes. I guess she wakes up, and we have opening credits, and I could not listen. I absolutely loved Loretta Devine singing. Listen, Loretta Devine, remember, Mama goes all the way back. Mama goes back to being um she played on Dreamgirls. She was Laurel. She was Laurel. Mm-hmm. And go look at some of those old tapes of Loretta Devine singing down in Dreamgirls. But yeah, Mama, y'all know Loretta Devine. She her acting chops are nothing to play around with. Okay. Anyway, moving on. We then have Haley and Uncle Clifford meeting up down to the Pink, and he tells her the history of the Pink and his family and great granddads and all of the different people. And Mama is looking at him like, "Girl, you can save all this. I'm not here to hear all this." And he's trying to sell her on why she shouldn't sell the Pink. She ain't trying to hear it. She tells him, "Listen, the people from the promised land to offer me $5 million. Baby, all that cute little story that you telling, what does that mean to me?" And she goes to her own little story. She's like, "Listen, you ain't the only one that got sad sob stories. I have a whole daughter, and I don't want, all this to be in vain for my daughter." And Uncle Clifford was like, "Well, your daughter ain't here no more." Baby, I would have followed that up with, "Well, baby, your ancestors ain't here no more." And what? But she told him, "Listen, they offered me $5 million. I'm holding out until they give me $10 million. Like I said, I'm not going, This is my dream. This is what I want. I ain't selling it for nothing less than 10 million. When she told him about the 5 million, even he was like, and you said no. You want that money, Uncle Clifford, child. Stop playing these reindeer games with us. Baby, if they give you some coins, you're gonna take these coins and keep it pushing. Um, he gonna tell her that baby gone. Your ancestors gone. Anyway, Mercedes calls Shell and tells Shell, listen, I'm gonna need to keep Terrica for a few more days. Let you, rest up. I take care of her for a few more days. And Mercedes go in there and start talking to Terrica about what she about to do for this baby. And Terrica's like, I don't know. Listen. So she was like, yeah, I got a craving for TCBY with hot sauce and all kinds of, the pregnancy cravings or whatnot. Excuse me. And Mercedes was like, yeah, you is pregnant. She was like, well, let's go by and get you some TCBY. Meanwhile, at Uncle Clifford house, Lil Murda is over there going through it. Baby, he is over there replaying all of the things that just happened over the last week or so, culminating in his lover, his ex lover slash friend slash gang member, blowing his brains all over the place. And he then hears Miss Ernestine upstairs because he's still at Uncle Clifford house and she's coughing or whatnot. So he goes in there and he takes care of Miss Ernestine, and he cooks her food. Um, and she loves it. He seems to be a great cook, and that's cute. You know, the boys can cook. A man that can cook is real kind of sexy. I see you, little murder. I see you. I see you. You know, a man that can throw down in the kitchen, honey, goes a long way. Anyway, um, but mysteriously, and I made note of this, and so did Lil Murder. For you to be having a cocoa, you still have a great sense of smell. Usually, I thought that was your taste of your smell is a common symptom. Now, maybe everyone doesn't have that symptom of losing your taste of your smell, but I know that's one of the telltale signs that you got the cocoa. I'm just saying. Anyway, and so what I thought in my mind was, does she have something else? Like, is something else gonna be the reason that she died and not the cocoa? Did she get a positive COVID test last week, last episode? I don't know, child, but that's just what my mind went. Then she tells him, listen, I smelled death on you. I smelled it on you. Like, oh bitch, I know your tea, I know your deal. Somebody done died. I don't know if you killed them. I don't know if you witnessed it, but there was death all over you. And it still is. Mm-hmm. Down to the Mississippi and Massa are down to the grocery store with the kids. She see Haley and she go over there and talk to Haley or whatnot. And Haley, they talk briefly, but Haley see them bruises on her face. Haley pulled down her mask and Haley sees all them bruises on her face. We'll get to that later in the episode. Back down to Uncle Clifford house. Uncle Clifford come home. He sees Lil Murder done took care of everything. He got all these questions. Did you do this? Did you do that? Nigga, I did all of that. I took care. Everything is fine. Miss Ernestine is fine. I did everything you told me to do. We good on this end. So he gives Uncle Clifford some food. Oh, I forgot to talk about the fact that earlier when Uncle Clifford was talking to Miss Ernestine, earlier when he gave Miss Ernestine the food, he was like, can you put in a good word with me and Uncle Clifford? And she was like, well, if you keep cooking like this, I sure will. Anyway, so he lets Uncle Clifford eat his food. And Uncle Clifford falls in love with the food. I told you, a man that can cook, baby. If he can cook some buns, that means he can work some buns. If you get my drift. If he can cook you some hot, fresh buns, he can work some hot, fresh buns. You can eat cake. Anyway, um, Uncle Clifford tells Murder all about the offer that Haley got for the pink and so forth, and Little Murder said, "Listen, you might as well take the money if it's gonna happen anyway. Might as well get what you can." So then Uncle Clifford asks Murder, "Listen, are you okay? Uncle Clifford don't know what happened yet. He has no idea what happened. Now we saw little when earlier in the episode when Lil Murder was over there replaying everything. We did see little snippets. We saw that they burned the clothes that Lil Murder had on and stuff like that. So Uncle Clifford said he heard, and Lil Murder trying to play it off. I'm good. I'm straight. I'm straight. I'm straight. Baby, who you with? You ain't straight by no stretch of the imagination. All puns included. Baby, you ain't straight with this situation from last night. You also ain't straight in terms of being heterosexual. So, child, you ain't straight. Anyway, Uncle Clifford said, "Hey, boo, stop playing these games. 'Cause I heard you crying in your sleep." Anybody else talk in their sleep? I don't talk in my sleep. But talking in your sleep, I imagine being real dangerous. Because if you did something and you ain't want nobody to know and you talked about it in your sleep and you didn't even know you talked about it in your sleep, you could have revealed and told on your own self while you was sleeping. I imagine that being real, scary to talk in your sleep. Child, I'm glad I don't do that. Anyway, Uncle Clifford goes to find him, tells him, "Listen, let me go find you some clothes because it look like you're going to be here another night. So I need to go upstairs and find you some clothes." Um, Back in Mercedes, they supposed to be going to the TCBY, and they passed by the TCBY, and she was like, "Where are we going?" And Mercedes said, "Baby, we going to Jackson. We ain't going to get no ice. We going to Jackson." And so Terrica is like, "Well, the only reason people go to Jackson is to get a goddamn abortion." And so she was like, "Well, no." They go, why my phone always go off while I'm doing my damn video? While I'm doing my review, my phone always going off. Anyway, child. Mercedes says to her, "Well, we need to go and at least have a consultation and see what our options are. We don't even know how far along you are to see if that's even an option. So we need to go find out what our options are." Child, listen. I'm gonna be honest with y'all now. Y'all about to be real mad with me with this review, and I don't care. I don't care. Tell me in the comment section. I can't. I don't have it to do with this storyline and plot line with Mercedes and Terrica. At least not this episode. They were draining. Baby, they're doing everything in their power to emote and try to conjure up some feeling, sympathy, or whatever for me with the Mercedes and Terrica. It did not hit for me. It didn't work for me. I wasn't here for it. Some of the acting at some point was not good, and it was just like, and even if I even with that notwithstanding, just it's the blind leading the blind. It's like both of them are 14. When you hear the interaction in every scene with Terrica and Mercedes, it's like two 14-year-olds trying to make life changing decisions. Because neither one of them have the intellectual wherewithal to handle this situation. It was a mess. So when these scenes come up, I'm just gonna be real honest. I ain't gonna be really talking about it because I can't. I don't have it to do. I don't have it to do. It's two 14-year-olds trying to make grown people decisions. I ain't doing it with them two. Down to Uncle Clifford's house, Murder finds his phone in the seat cushion. I mean, in the seat cushions on the couch, and he turns it on, and now he got dozens of messages. Remember, he got the whole thing with the female rapper. What's her name? Tina Snow or something like that. His verse done blew up, and everybody's been texting, calling him, all kinds of social media posts and DMs and everything. Wody done called 17 times. Listen. Side note: if you are not following that young man, Bertram Williams, who plays Wody on this show, on Instagram and or Twitter, you missing out. What's his Instagram name? At Bertram Builds. Builds with an S. BertramBuilds. That's his handle on Instagram. You'll thank me later, honey. Ooh, chat. Mm, you're welcome. Anyway, don't look too hard because that's my boo, and I'll claw your eyeballs out. Looking too hard at my boo. Anyway, my boo thing, Wody, calls Murder, and they talk. So we found out Wody got the body because I wanted to know what they was gonna do with the body. That was a question I had. Wody got the body. Y'all know Wody a whole funeral director. What he got a whole funeral home. Wody got the body. You know how when people die, the old people be like, "Who got the body?" Child, Wody got the body, honey. But we find out Teak ain't got no family and nobody that's coming to pick him up and take care of his affairs. And so Woody's like, we probably gonna have to put him in a pauper's grave. And Lil Murda's like, nah, we gonna take him. We gonna put him out in like in presidential style. The whole gang or whatever they got going on, they'll pay for it. I guess if y'all got money to be buying cars, y'all got money to pay for fumes too. Child, just let me know what color we need to wear for the fume. We wearing that orange and that red and green like and black like it's Christmas again. Just let me know when I need to wear the big T fume. Child, I'm already getting my all white for T'Challa's fume coming up in November for Black Panther. Shout out to the Black Panther trailer that just came out yesterday. So I'm getting my all white outfit for that. Now I got to get me an outfit for Big T fume. Child, we gonna be child. Make sure you have you some good shades to block all the puffiness from the eyes and the crying, honey. When we have to go to these fumes, look like we might have to be going to a fume for Miss Ernestine too. Child, just a mess. There's too many people dying. Child, a mess. Anyway, so Murder goes upstairs to talk to Uncle Clifford because Uncle Clifford making a whole lot of noise up there. Uncle Clifford pulling out all these clothes and clothes from back in the '90s and early 2000s from trade. Child, is that have I ever kept clothes that trade never leave clothes that when I was dealing with trade, honey? Back in the day when I was dealing with trade, honey, baby, you weren't leaving no clothes at my house, honey. I used to have a man. But when I had a man, I wasn't really dealing with trade. But when I was single, I dealt with trade. But you weren't leaving your clothes at my house for me to be having as souvenirs later. No, God. Get out of my house and take your clothes with you. Anyway, they found this cute little purse, which goes back to when we had the scene with Miss Ernestine and the montage at the beginning when they was in the '80s and Uncle Clifford was a little boy with his mama and had the purse. We saw the purse again. And so something happened and Uncle Clifford referenced Cisco. He picked up Murder picked up some like some patent leather red hot pants or something like that. And Uncle Clifford was like, "Who you think you is, Cisco?" And Murder's like, "Who is Cisco?" And Uncle Clifford's like, "What?" He was like, "Boy, you know I know who Cisco is. Everybody know who Cisco is, because everybody also knows Cisco is one of the girls too, child. Shout out to Cisco, honey. Child. Anyway, I wonder if Lil Murda's character is based on Cisco. Interesting notion. Put it down in the comment section. If that's the case, that y'all let me know what y'all think. Anyway, just a thought. So Murder sees well they start to have this conversation because Murder says he sees all this stuff and they talk about the purse and he said, "Man, I was carrying that purse from when I was a little boy and my mama will fuck anybody up who asked about why I got a purse." And so he asked him, "Hey, you always been like this?" He was like, "Listen, I ain't trying to be offensive, but it's a question." He like, "I always been Uncle Cliff. Yeah, I've been." And so he says, "So what are you?" He says, "I'm Uncle Clifford." He says, "What are you?" And that's the point where Lil Murda finally admits out loud that he's gay. Now, he didn't come out and say, "Oh, I'm gay," but he says, "I'm what people won't allow me to be in, publicly." Something to that effect, meaning I am gay, but people just won't allow me to be that. But that was his admission that yeah, I'm gay. And so Murder sees that Uncle Clifford kept all of the postcards, and they have this real intimate conversation, and so they really start to talk about Clifford say, I mean Murder says, "But listen, I ain't never did this before. All of the guys that I ever been with, they always have been able to pass. They've always been able to pass. They always been hard, masculine guys." And Uncle Cliff was like, "Listen, if you're gonna be with me, ain't no passing over here, boo. I am that I am." so, so they all talking and getting all intimate. Baby, they hear like the door open or close, and they like, "Wait a minute, where's?" And they run down and says, "Miss Ernestine done walked out, honey. Baby, she done fled the premises, honey. She done got about." Meanwhile, down on the road going down to Jackson, Mercedes makes a pit stop at some restaurant to let Terrica use the bathroom. Baby, she has some flashback about Patrice when she was a little when she was a teenager. Um, Patrice saw they didn't have enough money. She saw some man and said, "Go do that thing." Now I don't know what that thing was. I don't know if Patrice was trying to tell her to go turn a trick with this old man in order to get money. I don't know because Mercedes was like, "Don't worry about it. I got the money." She opens up her wallet and there's a condom in there with money, and so Patrice loses it and starts fucking Mercedes up. Who is this Cortez? What are you doing to get this money from him? That's why I'm like, but wait a minute, what was you finna have her do with this guy at the damn restaurant to get this money? But you mad because she got money from her boyfriend. Make it make sense. At least she had a condom. But girl, baby, Miss Patrice put the ones and twos on her, two to the head, three to the body on Miss Mercedes and whooped her ass. Baby, ain't not a soul in there stop it from going on. Not a soul said anything. I was like, oh, try that today in 2022 and see if you don't be in jail. Anyway, so they get back on the road and they talking. It's the blind leading the goddamn blind. At this point, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't. There was a moment where Mercedes hits her, and when I have my child, I ain't gonna never hit my daughter, baby. I told you this whole plot line and storyline with Mercedes and Terrica. A bitch just came. A bitch came. Meanwhile, back at Uncle Clifford's house, Uncle Clifford and Murder. Well, they're not at the house. They don't went down to try and find Miss Ernestine. They out in the woods, and they're seeing trails of Miss Ernestine's, clothes. A garment here, a garment there, a piece of a garment here, a piece of a garment there. They finding a whole trail of her clothes. Then we got to go back down to Terrica and Mercedes. They're down at the Planned Parenthood. You got the protesters and all of the Bible thumpers out front, the pro-lifers and whatever blocking the entrance, and it. I just, they have the consultation. They find out that Terrica is 14 plus weeks, like 14 weeks, 14 days. I think what is it? 15 weeks is the limit. I think 15 weeks is the limit that they have to get an abortion. She was like, "Listen, if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it now, honey." She was like, "Well, can we do it right now?" No, baby. The law says we gotta wait 24 hours. So yeah. Now my question is, this is me waxing political. When they taped this, did Mississippi already have the 15 weeks law ban on abortion? Because remember, that's how we got to the Roe v. Wade going down. Is the Mississippi law, the 15-week abortion law? That's how we got to Roe v. Wade. So was it already 15 weeks? I mean, was that law already on the books at the taping of this and they included it in there? I don't know. But I know that's how we got Roe v. Wade being struck down in the Mississippi law. Mm. Anyway, she got 24 hours to make a decision. I told you I don't have it to do with them too. We then go back to the river, to the woods. Ernestine walk through the woods. She's at the banks of the river. I guess it's the Mississippi River. They go catch up with her just before she get in the water, and she on the ground, and she said, "Listen, I gotta get to the water. I gotta get to the water," and they won't let her. She said, "Well, if y'all won't let me go to the water, y'all gotta bring the water to me." And she's like, "Beulah, I'm coming. Beulah, I'm coming." And so Murder's like, "Well, who's Beulah?" And Uncle Clifford's like, "That's my mama." Remember, we saw the vision of Beulah at the beginning of the episode. Said, "Mama, come take your rest." She was like, "No, no, baby, not now." Well, apparently it's now. So Murder goes and takes a little rag and dips it in the water and then squeezes it on Miss Ernestine, and she was so glad, you could tell to get the water. But baby, once she got that water, it's like her body just left. She was like, and it's like she released and let go, honey. She was ready to go on the glory, honey. And he was like, "Listen, her fingertips are turning blue. We need to get her back to the house." So I don't know. I guess this is it, baby, because they take her home. Um, Cause she at that point you could tell she basically let go, or so we thought. Back down with the two 14-year-olds, Mercedes and Terrica. They done checked into a motel while they making a decision on this 24 hours, and she down to the pool. I told you I don't have it to do. I don't care. Mercedes and her bad decision making. Listen, she gives me nausea. She gives me nausea. I can't. Moving on, back down to Uncle Clifford house. The ambulance, not ambulance. but the ambulance is there. Baby, they got Miss Ernestine on a gurney, honey. She ain't there. She's still alive. But they trying to put the oxygen mask on her, baby. She don't want to put it in. But I wrote down that she kept saying, I'm never going to come back. As if I'm never going to come back to my house again. And she also was saying, um, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And I kind of felt that to believe. You know how a lot of older people, when they know it's time, they don't want to be in no hospital when it's time to go. Baby, they want to be home. And they be wanting to go on in the comforts of their own home. You talk to a lot of people when they go to hospice, they want hospice care not at the hospice facility. They want it at home so they can be in a comfortable, safe place and transition that way. So I took that to mean that I don't know necessarily if it meant that she wasn't ready to die. I took it as she was saying, I want to go. If I'm going to go, I want to do it at home. It was real interesting. That thing touched me, man. I had to pause because that thing touched me right there. That thing touched me. And so Clifford, when they putting her in the car, not the car, the ambulance. Now when I say ambulance, I'm thinking about that song. Y'all know that song that went viral. Everybody who rode in the ambulance car, hold your heads up. If you rode in the ambulance car, oh, ooh. If y'all don't know the ambulance car song, go look it up. Get your life. Anyway, as they're putting her in the ambulance, Uncle Clifford is, you know, having to let his grandma go, and Murda tells him, "You need to say goodbye. Say goodbye, because we don't know if they're gonna let you see her while she's still alive. Say goodbye." And he said goodbye. I don't know if we're ever gonna see her alive again. I don't know. That might have been it, which is why we had to hold the Red Divine at the beginning of the episode. If she's gone, thank you for what you've done, Loretta Devine. Thank you for another role that you played and killed it. Back down to the motel. These two again. Listen, we got these two again. They trying real hard to be, to give award-winning acting and emote and so forth. And I can't care. I can't care. I don't care. Moving on. Down to Uncle Clifford house. He in the shower, and it's like he's already grieving. Baby, he is in that shower grieving, honey. Why is my phone doing all these noises? Baby, he grieving. And as if she's already dead. Murder, he goes into his room, and Murder done did this cute thing where he got Cisco playing. The thong song I think was playing. And he got on these patent leather uh, purple pants or whatever, and you see him trying to vogue or whatever he try to do, and Uncle Clifford is like, "Girl, that's I don't do that. I don't do all that." And so, but it was real cute. It was real cute. They get in the bed, and Uncle Clifford starts grieving again, and Murder, caresses him, and they get ready to they finna fuck. And Uncle Clifford reaches over and pulls out a condom. And Murder's like, nah, we'll need that. And he was like, Negro, is you good? Yeah, I'm good. Is you good? Yeah, I'm good. Because I wanna feel you inside of me. I wanna feel all you inside of me. Meaning, I want you to blow my back out and dig my womb in and beat my box, plunge my womb. Anyway, now here's the thing. Here's the real and the fake. The real about this scene is the masculine dudes be wanting their back blown out all the time. So that's the real part. And I know you don't see this a lot where a lot of heterosexual people just will automatically think that, oh, the masculine dude got to be the man and he got to be doing the giving. That ain't how that shit roll. And so I was kind of glad that they did it this way, where they gave you a glimpse into, nah, it's a lot of times where the feminine dudes is the one doing the topping. Um, so that part was real. The fake part was the first fake part for me was Uncle Clifford. You got these 4-inch nails, baby. Baby, where was your hands going? Cause you ain't fingering nobody with them nails, honey. Ain't nobody letting you roll up in they, you know, goods with them nails. That shit will scrape the lining of your rectum, and it is painful. Mm-mm. That was the fake part. The second fake part, now Lil Murder. See, this is the fictitious part of TV where they make sex look like, oh, it's so beautiful and magical, and he just stuck it in, and I just felt the beauty and the glory of God. No, baby. When that thing goes in, you feel fire shut up in your bones. It goes from the crown of your head to the sole of your feet. Baby, you feel like I'm on fire. I'm burning up. I'm burning up. He didn't even do the requisite gasp because at first entry, when that thing knocks on the door and that door opens and it enters, even at the very minimum, there's a because baby, that thing will let you know for real, for real. Hey, I'm here. So one or two things is happening, Little Murder. Either this scene was real fake because baby, you gonna feel that it ain't that easy, or you taking it up the booty shoot that much, Little Murder, that you ain't got no more walls, that it's just sliding in, honey. I mean, this is a penis going up the booty shoot, the booty shoot, up the booty shoot, out the booty shoot. Baby, mm-mm. But the magical world of television made it seem like a mythical experience like no other. Because up to this point, they've led us to believe that murder does most of the topping. So, baby, it ain't that easy. I hope in all that putting on of the patent leather pants and this boa and all of this stuff trying to be Cisco, you went and cleaned your box out too, honey. I'm just saying, mix it about with fleet or something, honey. Moving on, they fucked down. Murder digs him out. He was like, "Fill me up, fill me up." I was like, "Oh dear God, oh dear God." Ooh. But if you like it, I love it, honey. I guess, honey. Get it how you live. Back down with the two 14-year-olds. Terrica tells her, when you drive the car, you make the decision. We either driving to Chuckalisa because you want to keep the baby, or we driving to Jackson because you want to get rid of the baby. She drives to Jackson and aborts the fetus. Back down to Uncle Clifford's house, when they're over there basking in afterglow, Uncle Clifford murder tries to tell Uncle Clifford because he's both of them are grieving because they were like, because Uncle Clifford, I mean, Murder was like, I'm just glad you let me in, and Uncle Clifford was like, well, you needed me, and now I needed you. They both needed you. Both of them are in 12 stages of grieving at this point, and so Murder starts, getting verklempt and crying, and Uncle Clifford was like, nope, I don't want to know yet. Not until you're ready. So we found out Uncle Clifford still don't know what happened. I don't even know if Uncle Clifford even knows who Big Teak is. Because they went and picked up Big Teak when they was on tour. And him and Uncle Clifford wasn't even talking. Child a mess. What's going to happen when all of that comes out? Uncle Clifford gives me that he's a little bit jealous. Is Murder going to tell him the whole story? I'm just saying. Anyway, after the abortion, it looks like they back down to Mercedes' house. Terrica and Mercedes is watching TV. Patrice's campaign ad comes on, and I didn't like the part when Terrica called Patrice's grandma, and Mercedes was like, don't don't call her that. I didn't like that part, but you want her to call you mama. She called Mercedes mama, but I didn't like that part. I told you I don't have it to do with them too. Because I didn't even get the whole part where they were saying, Don't give her that much power. She only have as much power as we give her. Talk about protect. I didn't even get that whole part because while that may have been true with regard to Mercedes and Patrice, I don't know to this point that Terrica's interaction with Patrice is the same as Mercedes' interaction with Patrice. I don't know. Y'all put in the comment section what y'all think. Meanwhile, we end this episode down to the plantation. Massa and Mississippi's house. So Haley comes over. So Massa allows Haley in and lets her go talk to Mississippi. So Haley is telling this long, ornate story to the baby that is all about her. And basically, it was basically her telling Mississippi, hey, boo, bitch, you drowning. You are drowning. You need to learn how to swim. Baby, you need to get up out of this situation. And so she had brought Haley a gift in a little gift bag. And what it is was we find out that this gift is a phone. It's one of them like a trap phone where you can't, an old analog phone where you can't, track where it's at. So she said, listen, here's the phone. When you ready, because I see you ain't ready now, but when you are, boo, use it. Look up Haley Colton. My number already programmed in it. Use it, boo. And she punched it out of there and left Mississippi. And it goes on from there. Now I'm thinking that Derek gonna find this phone. Anybody else feel like Derek gonna find this phone? Baby, he's gonna find this good phone. I also wanna know how much is Murda gonna tell Uncle Clifford about what happened? Is he gonna tell him the full unabridged Big Teak story, or just tell him, hey, my homeboy shot himself, and that's why I'm like upset? Are they gonna really give her $10 million? And what's going on with Andre and this election? Also, where's Whisper and Roulette and all of this? It's a whole lot of loose ends we gotta put together, y'all. Let's get in the comment section and do like we do, always do, good, about what we saw. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the video, to the channel, I should say, and all of that good stuff. That's all I got for y'all. That's all. Until next time, thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.